Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we will learn about SQL and one of its important part, DQL, Data Query Language. Let's start. First, we look for SQL. SQL abbreviates as Structured Query Language, which used to interact with the database like MySQL, SQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL. In common words, SQL is a language used to communicate with relational database. A relational database such as MySQL, SQL Server, Oracle, and PostgreSQL. Using SQL, we can create and manage the database. Let us see in depth of SQL functions. SQL functions includes create and manage database table, insert, update, and delete the data from the database table. Third function includes retrieve the data based on some condition. Retrieve the data from the database table based on some condition or else without any condition. The last but not least, the last functionality includes controlling the user access and handles the transactions. Controls, control user access and handles transaction. These are the functions of SQL. I will repeat once again. The SQL function includes create and manage the database table. Second includes insert, update, delete the data from the database table. The third function is retrieving the data from the database table based on some condition or without any condition. The last function includes control the user access and handles transaction. SQL categories. SQL is categorized as four types: DDL. DDL stands for Data Definition Language. Second is DML, stands for Data manipulation language. Third one is DCL, data control language. The fourth one includes TCL, transaction control language. The last category of SQL is DQL, data query language. Now in this video we will go deeper in DQL, which is used for retrieving the database. DQL used for retrieving the data from database. DQL, data query language. It is a part of SQL, that is one of the category of SQL, which is used to fetch or query the data from the database, or else it is used for retrieving the data from the database. The common keyword used in DQL is select clause. Select clause is used to get data from one or more table. The clause is used to retrieve data from one or more table. Here, important to note that DQL is used only used to read or retrieve the data, but we can't alter the data. This is a key difference we have to keep in mind. Now, we can practice the DQL by going to the website called as Programs SQL Editor. To click on this first link is Online SQL Editor. See, this is a SQL query. This is a mainly DQL query. Here select statement, it is selecting the data from first name and age column from the table customer. So if you see the order of execution for this query, first select statement will select the data source. It selects the data source, that the data source is customer. After selecting the data source, that is customer, from customer table it will be informed by the user that it should get the data of first name and the age. This way the execution of the command goes on. The execution starts from here. The select statement will find the data source from clause. It comes to know that it comes to know here that data source is customer. After knowing the data source, it will try to access the data which is mentioned in select statement. That is, it should get the data of first name and age column data. If I run, you can see that only first name column and age column data is shown from the customer table. Rest of the column is blocked. Here, in specific, if I tell here select statement will create a will create a result set. In that result set, it will fetch the data from the data source, that is customer, only the data source which specified in select statement, that is first name column data, age column data, and that is stored in result set, and that result set will be shown to the user, not an actual table. So this way data authorization, data security is maintained. Here we have seen select from. From clause is used to find out the data source. In such a way, we have to use from clause. After finding the data source, what data in that data source we have to show to the user, that is specified here. Next, we can come to where clause. Where clause is used to take out the records as per our need or as per our condition. Basically, it is used to filter out the records from the database table or data table. Here, I am going to use age column in condition. I am giving a condition as if the age is 20, only those, only whichever records will satisfy this condition, that record has to be displayed. Semicolon is used. Semicolon it is used to show that it is the end of the SQL query. If I hit on run, I can see only those records whose age is greater than 20. If I do not specify anything in select statement, then entire data of the database will be shown. If I do not specify anything in select statement, then entire data of the data source will be shown off. SQL. So you can see here. When I come back to where clause, here I'm again using the EH column. Now I am using the another where operator or SQL operator, that is between. If the age is between 20 and 30, only those records whose age is in between 20 to 30, that has to be displayed, that has to be copied to the result set, and that will be shown off. This is a between operator, this is an and operator. Means that we have to take the age column as a condition, and age should be between 20 to 30. If I run it, only I will get those records whose age is in between 20 to 30. If I want to get the results set by our own width columns, like I want to only get first name, first name, first name from the data source, country, country, age, and the rest of the column I am not made of. In such a case, if I want to get in this way, if I want to get desired result set, then we can select the columns whichever we want from the data source, and we can display those data. If you don't specify the columns, then all the data of the data source will be copied in result set, and that result set will be shown as output to the end user. So what do mistake? See, you can see here. Now, next operator which I'm going to use is like operator. If I want to get those records, first name begins with, or the first name is like R, then we can use R percentage. Then whichever record's first name starts with R, that will be displayed to the user. Yeah, I made a mistake. It should give the column name correctly. I have given incorrect. That's why it was showing an error. That is no such column. Now I have corrected it. If I run it, you can see only one record will be displayed because that record whose first name starts with R, that's why it's satisfying the condition. So that's why it is displayed to the user. If I want to get those records whose country is not USA, then I can use not in operator. So USA is a string, right? So we have to enclose in single quotes. If I give it, then sorry, country is not I have to use it's not operator USA. So you can see I am only getting those records whose country is not an USA. If I want to get those records whose country is USA, then I can use it operator. So basically, is not operator is a identity operator. Country is USA, country is not USA. Is and is not is an identity operator. SQL operator here basically it checks whichever record's age is 20, 22 will be displayed. Since the age 20 is not present in this records of this customer table, so 20 record will be not displayed. Only in customer table, only two records whose age is 22 that will be displayed as per the condition here. In is a membership operator. Membership operator of two types. In, not in. There are two membership operators. In, not in. If I give not in, it means that I have to get those records whose age is not 20 or 22. You can see here I'm filtering out the records as per my condition. In such a case, I am using the wait clause. If I see the order of execution, here order of execution First, the SQL compiler will go directly to the from clause. Afterwards, it will go to the where clause where it filter out the records from the customer table. Then it backs to the select query and displays those records. You can see the output here. First thing which we learned is where operators. The operator which is used in where clause. SQL operator, operator used in where clause. This is not in is and is not is a is and is not is a identity operator. In SQL, is and is not is logical compression operator, and in not in is also is a logical comparison operator, whereas in Python if you check is and is not is a identity operator, and in and not in is a membership operator. That is a difference. In SQL we will call as comparison operator, in Python we'll be calling as identity operator. Here if we compare with DQL with other SQL parts, DDL as we know it is used to create or alter the table. Create or alter the table. DML is used to change the data. TCL is used to manage the permission. TCL transaction control language used to control the transaction. DQL as you know it is used to query the data. DDL, DML, DCL and TCL we can look in another classes. As of now we have gone through the SQL and DQL. If I summarize what we learned so far, SQL helps us to manage and work with the database, and DQL is a part of SQL used only to query or retrieve the database. Select is a key that is mainly used in DQL command, which is powerful, flexible, and used in almost every project. Thank you. Thank you for watching. If you found it this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment on what topic you would like to cover next.